Hello, everyone. My name is Mihir Prashad. I'm CEO and founder of Umami Meats, and today I'd like to tell you about our cultivated, not caught approach to sustainable seafood. So we envision a future where we can consume healthy, sustainable, and importantly, affordable seafood that doesn't involve having to sacrifice animals, our oceans, or our future. And many people ask, why would you work on a cultivated product? We see a lot of plant-based products coming along, fermentation-based products, and I like to show them this chart. And basically what you're looking at is whether people are eating traditional caught and farmed fish, vegetarian options, or cultivated. And what we really can see is over the last 50 years or so, the number of vegetarians percentage-wise is growing, but not substantially. And in spite of all of the discussion around plant-based and veganism, this is still a very small portion of consumers. And especially in emerging markets where the growing seafood demand is going to be the largest, this is the trend. So we believe cultivated is needed to produce something sustainable that matches what consumers want to buy. And a quick note on what cultivated is. It's basically using cell culture technology to produce fish or other kinds of meat. And we use a simple process. We start by harvesting cells from the fish, establishing cell lines using non-GMO methods, and using cell lines that can turn into muscle and fat tissue. We then culture the cells in bioreactors to take a few million cells and turn them into many trillion cells. We harvest them from the bioreactor, and then we structure them to produce various kinds of seafood. And our approach is unique in the way that it transforms the economics of cultivating these cells. So our goal is to bring the price down to price parity with premium seafood at the pilot scale, and to actually undercut the price of many of these species that I'll talk about in just a moment as we reach commercial scale and beyond. Our approach starts by developing proprietary data sets around the species we work with, everything from the genomics and how the cells, the animals breed, to how they respond to different environments. We're then developing a full stack from novel inputs all the way through process development. So we own the stack, and that allows us to apply machine learning to continuously and iteratively accelerate our improvement cycle. And the economics of cell culture boil down to two simple points. You need to increase the efficiency of your cells, and you need to decrease the cost of the media you feed them. With the cells, you can increase their doubling time efficiency by decreasing how long it takes one cell to turn into two, to turn into four, et cetera. And you can increase the density in terms of how many cells you can grow in 1 liter or 2 liters of media. On the media side, you can decrease the cost of the media per liter, but you can also decrease the amount of media that needs to be consumed to produce a certain amount of cell mass. We're working on all four of these problems simultaneously. On the cell line side, we've established innovations that increase the efficiency of the cells. We have very short doubling times that are approaching 23 hours now, and these cells can produce muscle and fat in a matter of a few days, which is very short relative to the traditional time spans. We're also starting to scale up to grow these cells at very high densities, which will also pair nicely with our media innovations that are helping to drive costs down. We have a 100% plant-based serum that we use to replace the bovine serum animal-derived media. It costs 2% of what the bovine serum media costs, and we're already starting to increase media efficiency by reducing the volumes required as well. The species we're focusing on are based on a couple of criteria. They're hard to domesticate. They're considered endangered or threatened, so they're on the IUCN Red List. There's strong demand, particularly in Asia, and they have premium price point. So this initially led us to Japanese eel, yellowfin tuna, and red snapper as species of choice. And in terms of how we're going to showcase these species, we're starting in just over a month with a demonstration of a traditional Singaporean laksa that will be a fish ball and fish cake based dish. Moving towards more structured products like grilled and smoked unagi as our first commercial launch. And then over the next couple of years, we'll introduce fillet chunks, sushi and sashimi dishes, as well as steaks and fillets. Our business model is to start by launching with fine dining and high-end hospitality groups, to have chefs be our educators for consumers and our evangelists. The goal is to build prestige and validate demand. And the goal of validating demand is to then engage large-scale B2B players like seafood distributors and suppliers and specialty ingredients companies with whom we can license our technology stack and sell our specialty inputs at high margins and work with them to basically entrench our network as a cultivated seafood technology player. We're looking to partner on sourcing cell culture inputs and ingredients, product development and customization for different markets, and for scaling production. And we have a deep technology background in our team, along with a number of partnerships that are helping us to make this possible. Our lead cell line scientist has 20 years of experience on fish cell lines, and we have several decades of experience in automation, bioprocess engineering, et cetera. Thanks for your time. and learning more about how we're cultivating, not catching the future of seafood. Look forward to taking your questions.